My hands trembled as I held my daughter's tiny fingers, the warmth in them quickly fading. Her eyes fluttered, unfocused. Her lips, usually pink and full of laughter, were turning pale. I knelt on the cold hardwood floor, calling her name again and again, but she didn't respond. Just minutes earlier, the house had echoed with chatter and careless laughter. It was a family gathering, one of those Sunday brunches my wife loved hosting. Her sister Anaya was there with her husband and their daughter, Alina, a bright, overly energetic 6-year-old who'd always been rough with our little girl, Layla. But no one seemed to care. "She's just high-spirited," Anaya would say. My wife would nod. "Let them play. They're kids." I always had a bad feeling. Something in the way Alina looked at Layla didn't sit right. A bit too smug, a bit too jealous. Layla was sweet, quiet, and deeply loved not just by us but by everyone who met her. Alina, on the other hand, demanded attention, and when she didn't get it, her smile turned sharp. I was in the kitchen grabbing drinks when I heard the thud. Not the usual pitter-patter of feet or clatter of toys. This was different, heavier, broken, final. Then came silence, and then a scream. I dropped everything and ran. Layla was at the foot of the stairs, crumpled like a rag doll, her head twisted unnaturally, one arm pinned under her small body. My heart stopped. I rushed down, trying not to panic, praying she'd cry, move, something. But she just lay there, breath shallow, eyes fluttering like a candle about to go out. I shouted for help, my voice cracking. Behind me, footsteps approached slow, casual, like it was nothing. I looked up to see Anaya smirking, and her husband laughing like this was some sitcom. Alina stood on the landing, gripping the railing, not a single tear in her eyes. My wife joined them, eyes wide but not with concern, with embarrassment. "She'll get over it." Anaya chuckled. "Kids fall all the time." My vision turned red. She fell, she was pushed. The room went quiet, but not for long. "Don't be dramatic," my wife muttered, kneeling beside me. Finally, it was just an accident. I stared at her in disbelief. My daughter was barely breathing, and all she cared about was maintaining the illusion of peace. "No," I whispered, grabbing my phone. "I'm calling 911. Anaya scoffed. "Come on, that's unnecessary," the dispatcher answered. I gave them our address, choking on my words as I described my daughter's state. I barely noticed the others growing quiet until I heard the distant sound of sirens. That's when their amusement began to drain from their faces. When the illusion shattered. "She's not breathing right," I whispered again, this time more to myself, more to Layla. "Come on, baby. Stay with me." By the time the paramedics rushed in, Layla had stopped moving entirely. They worked quickly, stabilizing her, checking vitals, lifting her onto a stretcher. I tried to follow, but they held me back. "We need space," one of them said gently. "We'll do everything we can." I turned to my wife. She was shaking now, face pale, but still no apology, no remorse, just fear for herself, for what this might look like. An officer approached. "Can you tell me what happened?" I told him everything, voice steady despite the chaos in my chest. I pointed to Alina. She pushed her, on purpose, and they all laughed. That night, I didn't go to the hospital. I couldn't. I went to the police station instead, giving my full statement, showing them photos, text messages, every sign that this family had ignored the danger, dismissed my warnings. The detective listened carefully. "You did the right thing," he said. "Child endangerment, possibly assault, depending on the medical report." The call came at 2:13 a.m. "Your daughter's stable," the nurse said, "but there's swelling, a fractured skull. She's in a medically induced coma. We're monitoring her closely." I fell to my knees right there, in the parking lot of the precinct. The next few days were a blur of hospital corridors, beeping monitors, and sleepless nights. My wife tried to visit once. I didn't let her in. Her sister showed up too, demanding to see Layla, blaming me for overreacting. The hospital security escorted them both out, and in those long hours beside Layla's bed, holding her hand, I started to unravel a different kind of truth, one I hadn't dared face until now. My marriage was dead long before this, not because of neglect, not just because she didn't listen, but because she didn't care. Somewhere along the years, My wife had stopped loving us, or maybe she never did. I remembered the late nights when she didn't come home, the secretive texts, the passwords suddenly changed, the girls' weekends that never made sense. I had asked once or twice, but I never pushed. I wanted to believe she'd come around, for Layla. For me. But now I saw it all too clearly. She had checked out long ago, this family gathering, a performance, a way to show off her perfect life to her sister. Our daughter's injury wasn't a tragedy to her, it was an inconvenience. And when she saw I was done pretending, she panicked not because of guilt, but because she feared exposure. The truth came out 2 weeks later when Layla opened her eyes. I was in the room, reading softly to her when her tiny fingers curled around mine. She blinked slowly, and I felt the tears rise to my eyes. "You're safe," I whispered. "Daddy's here." That same day, the police made their move. CPS had already opened an investigation. Anaya's daughter was being evaluated for behavioral issues. My wife, she was served with divorce papers and a court order for supervised visitation. She screamed at me over the phone, accusing me of tearing the family apart. I didn't respond. I had already spent too many years trying to keep it all together while she chipped away at us from the inside. Now, I had only one priority, Layla. Months passed. Layla recovered slowly, but surely, her strength returning little by little. Therapy helped her regain balance, both physically and emotionally. We moved into a new place, just the two of us, a small, sunlit apartment near the park. It wasn't much, but it was ours. And every day, I told her how brave she was, how much she was loved, how no one would ever laugh at her pain again. Because I had learned something too. Silence protects the wrong people. And real love means standing up, even when it costs you everything, especially then.